Lee, it's a Boxing Day bonanza here at Privet Park. How was your Christmas this year with your family? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, enjoyed it, but I'll enjoy it a lot more today if we can get a result here today, you know. So Christmas has almost took a back seat because of these games, you know. I think both sets of fans, players, you know, groups of staff are excited about these games, and rightly so. Local derby, and we're looking forward to it.
Havant Waterlooville almost come here as underdogs, according to many people. Do you believe that, or do you think it's not the case and we are still the biggest club?
Well, in form, you look at him, we are. You know, they're just outside the playoffs, and we're at the wrong end of the table. So, but that's what derbies are about. Derbies are a leveller. They're about on the day people have rolled their sleeves up and working hard. That's been my message to the players. Make sure we work hard and got to be composed as well.
You've almost got a spy in the camp, so to speak, with Matt Patterson and Lee Montague. What have them two had to say to the rest of the squad, if anything?
To be honest, I don't think they can tell me anything about that I don't already know about Gosport. So, you know, you can say the same about obviously Gosport. They've got obviously Ryan Woodford, Perry Ryan, and Steve Ramsey, etc., in their ranks as well. So it's a game that I think both sets of players sort of really now look at this local derby as the one when it comes out, when the fixtures come out, they look at it and go, right, when we've got Gosport, are we home or away on the Boxing Day, you know, and the New Year's Day?
Do you feel the fact that Gosport have got a few former Hawks players, do you feel that adds to the spice of today?
I think naturally you always want to prove your old employers wrong if they've let you go, or you know, that gives you that little added lift. But we've got a couple of them as well in our camp, as you said. So listen, when they get out there, it's 11 against 11 today on the pitch, and just for me, it's got to make into a good game. You know, the conditions will probably play into that as well.
How important is it that the players keep their heads and don't allow the festive atmosphere, the derby day atmosphere, to boil over as has happened in the past?
Yeah, it's imperative. I think, you know, we've got to compete, but there's a fine line of competing and getting sucked in and getting sent off, and you know, reacting to things, and that's something that I want my players to be calm and composed and let the football do the talking.
Lee, there's so much that we can talk about. I really want to save it until after the game, so I'll just ask you one simple question. What's the Hawks team today, Lee?
We'll find out at 2 o'clock.
I forgot about the time issue. Thank you very much indeed, Lee. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Alex Pike joins us. It's always a pleasure because I never know what sort of interview I'm going to get. I know that I've got to ask the right questions. Alex, what are your thoughts ahead of today's game with Havant Waterlooville?
Obviously, it's a local derby, and you know, most managers will stand in front of you now and use the normal rhetoric about having respect for the opponents and what have you. But quite frankly, I'm the Gosport Borough manager, and all I'm interested in is winning. And if we don't win the game today, then I'll be devastated.
People have mentioned respect and that, and you say what you've just said. What do you mean when it comes to respect?
I think there's always got to be professional respect between, you know, the two clubs, the managers, the players. You know, they always have that type of respect. But when it comes to respecting someone on a football pitch, you know, we respect nobody. You know, that we will go out there and give it 100%. You know, that we've got to this time in the season where we're sixth in the league, and you are where you are, and there's reasons for that, and hopefully we can exploit them. But I'll be the first to admit that it's a shock to see where you are. It's an absolute shock. You know, the players you've got here, you've got some quality players, and like I said in the local press, you know, I think you're a wounded animal, and you're quite capable of putting a string of 20 games together and still making the playoffs, and we've got to be wary of that.
Havant Waterlooville haven't had the best of records here. We've had the FA Trophy defeat, which still hurts as a Havant fan, of course. How important do you think that will be, or do you think it's just another game?
None whatsoever. You know, like I said, look, it's a local derby. You know, someone's going to get the right decision. Someone's going to get a bit of luck. You know, you do need your players, your best players, to perform on the day, and normally it's whoever puts in the hardest shift, whoever performs on the day will win the game, and we've got to make sure that's us.
We spoke to Lee about discipline. We heard you speaking with Cliff and the BBC about discipline. I'm going to ask you pretty much the same question. How important is it that the players don't get sucked in to the derby day atmosphere here at Privet Park?
That's when you want a strong referee. You know, I don't know this referee personally, but you want a strong referee, to be honest. You know, that the players, you know, everybody, I don't know anybody that comes into this ground that pays to watch me, to watch Lee Bradbury, or to watch the referee. They've come here to watch the players, and the players are the ones that win football matches, and players are the ones that entertain. And I'm hoping that with a good referee, and I have been shocked really at the standard refereeing this season, which hasn't been that great, and I'll be the first one, you know, to come out and say that, you know, the system is not working. I think it's a very myopic system that we've got mentors, we've got assessors, we've got FA people, and they're all ex-referees. And the system to me is too myopic. It needs players, it needs managers to have an input into that system in order to try and make these better, because they may know the laws of the game, but they don't understand how to play the players play the game. And I think if we get a good referee today, then we'll get a good football match. It'll be as simple as that.
The reason why I'm creasing up is because I'm actually in the middle of doing a referee's course the first 5 games, so thank you for that. I enjoyed that.
Well, I am. You know, as I said, I like to think that I'm coming from a position of strength, that I am a qualified referee myself. I qualified in 1989. Then it was only classes 1, 2 and 3. I was immediately promoted to class 2 within 6 weeks, and I did a season of refereeing. Unfortunately, because I've been a Saturday manager, I had to do a season on Sundays, but it shows that I've got an understanding of what it takes, and basically it's just common sense. Like I said, if he realises they haven't come to watch him today, this game is all about players, and it will always be about players. I know there's a lot of your fans that think that I'm egotistical and it's all about me. It's not about me. I pay to watch some of my players play because they excite me. I pay to watch some of your players play because they excite me. This game will always be about football players, and that's the way it should be.
One final question I want to ask you. I'm not going to ask you what the team is because obviously we haven't got the Havant team yet. I do want to ask you, who do you think is going to be the key player from each side today?
Surprisingly, you've got a number of players that I think will be key. Brian Stock, we know, makes you tick in midfield. If you play the 2 wide players with Swallow and Cardini, they're always going to be a threat. We all know about the strengths of Pato, and we know about the weaknesses of Lee Molyneux. So hopefully we'll be able to exploit them.
And the key player from your side, are you going to give anything away?
Look out for the players wearing 1 to 11 on their backs.
Alex, thank you very much. Another entertaining interview. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, boys.
Number 2, Dan Stedlow. Number 3, Harry Bimble. Number 4, the captain, Brian Scott. Number 5, Luke Whittington. Number 6, Josh Hill. Number 7, Lauren Cummings.
TJ's there. Oh, yes.
So, Lee Roberts from Alex Pike. Alex, how did you see the game?
Lee, no, I obviously, I said to you beforehand, this wasn't about a performance. At this stage of the season with the pitches they are, that you've got two teams that want to play football, want to get it down, and I thought we did that in the first half. But the pitch is cut up again, which is very disappointing, and consequently it became a battle. And like I said to you, I didn't really care how we did it as long as we won the game. We got the 3 points, and we have, we put a little bit of distance between, us and some of the chasing pack. So it was quite good for us.
What did you make of the physicality today? There was an early booking, and that really set the tone for a very physical Boxing Day derby.
You're absolutely right, and you've hit the nail on the head. This is my point with the referee, that some referees would turn around and say, right, I want an early booking, because then that will then stamp it out. But then consequently, what happens then is that you then go and make a rod for your own back. And I didn't think that Carter's was a booking to start with. I think that was a talking off, and I certainly didn't think Pato's was a booking. But he booked Pato because he booked Carter. And the next minute, someone's going to be on 2 cards, and someone's going to be unlucky and being sent off, and Stocky was unlucky to be the one that got sent off.
I think a lot of people would have been surprised to see Gosport's number 4 on the pitch. I asked you off camera, I will ask you on it because of the response I got. Do you feel that Mike Carter was lucky to still be on the pitch, or not really?
Mike Carter's on the pitch just because he's a fantastic football player, and that's why he's on the pitch. And I felt I saw a different Mike. Mike's in it. Mike gives us that bit of aggression. He's the one that makes the tackles in there for us. He's the water carrier, if you like. And I thought we saw a very disciplined performance from him in the second half. And if I really want to antagonise some Havant fans, you could say that he was obviously a target of some rough challenges himself. But he's seen through it. He's kept his discipline, and I'm quite happy that. We kept 11 on the park.
Talk to me about Dan Wooden. We obviously were doing the commentary today as Gosport weren't doing any, so we did it, and we actually gave man of the match to Dan Wooden. What a goal that was. It's one of the best goals I've ever commentated on, Alex.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, we thought it was as well. And it's not just that, it's got to look at the build-up, how it brought it into it. And that's the way that we wanted a play against you. That I'm not going to go. Lee would obviously analyse it, and he know what we were doing in the first half. And I thought, time and time ahead, that we did make good openings for ourselves, and we scored a couple of goals. And unfortunately, the second half did fizzle out, which you expected with good players that you've got. That that you will throw the kitchen sink at us. But I'm certainly people got certain views of me, but one thing is, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to come on your camera and start saying exactly what I think about Havant Waterlooville, when I can actually tell you what I think about Havant Waterlooville will be after the second game, when we play on the second, and then I'll let you have both barrels then.
I'm looking forward to that, actually. I always like interviewing you. One question I wanted to ask you is, you're now up to fifth place in the playoffs. Do you still feel you can be there at the end of the season?
Well, that was always the target. We felt we were unlucky last year. If we had one more win, dare I say it, I know ifs and buts, one more win, we would have been in 5th place, and you would have been in 6th yourself. So
cheers, Alex.
That's how tight the margins are. And we set out to try and get into the top 5. Again, I think this league is extremely difficult. I think most managers will concede that Ebbsfleet will walk away with it, and quite rightly so. With the players they've got, that they've forged such a good opening. But the rest of us are all playing for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and I don't know, whether it's mathematically possible. I still think that, like I said to you before on camera, and I hope it don't start with us on the second, but you're more than capable of going on a 20. We did it one year. We were 2nd, 3rd from bottom, and went on a 20-30 run, and we got to the 5th place in the Southern Premier. Yeah, it's a different standard, and you probably do it at that level, and this is a harder standard. But you are more than capable of doing it. You've got a good manager, you've got good players, and they're not going to be down there for too long.
I need to ask you, we always end with your next game. What do you really think about your next opponents, Havant Waterlooville?
And as I said, I'll give you both barrels when I see you on the second. But I thought I was quite, sometimes a manager, you've got to look ahead, and we realised that we had that long trip to Truro on the 28th. I was lucky and unlucky to get knocked out of the cup, managed to reschedule that game and get that out of the way. So that's given us a free week now. We can go on the training ground for a couple of games, a couple of sessions, and get into the lads and get them organised and get ready for that game, whereby hopefully you'll get distracted with Bath City.
Any chance of getting you in the commentary box for Bath City if you won't have a game?
I would love to do that for you, but I don't know if your fans would like that.
I think I might get Liz to do it. Alex, it's been an entertaining interview as always. I have to say congratulations today. Well done.
Lee, it's nice to hear, and I really mean this. It's not not me being a sycophant, but this is probably the best coverage of our level and probably the level above with you and the way that you interview people and that. I think you're a credit to yourself and a credit to the club. I think you do really well, mate.
Thank you very much indeed, Alex.
And the cameraman.
Lee Bradbury joins us after another tough day at the office. Lee, it was tough because of the manner of the defeat. Probably one of our best performances of the season in my eyes.
I felt we worked hard and we matched them for work rate and desire, which we previous years when we've come here we haven't, and we've lost because of that. We didn't lose because of that today. We lost because there was a worldie goal from Dan Wooden. He probably never score a goal like again in his life, and an own goal. Apart from that, we weren't too much trouble really.
We gave Wooden man in the match because I couldn't think of anybody from Havant. I couldn't actually think of anybody from Gosport, and Wooden's just shaded it for me from Donners. Talk to me about that goal. That was the best goal I've ever commentated on. I'm sorry, it's come from Gosport. No, Wooden's. Yeah, we'll come on to Donners in a minute.
He's had a bad first touch. It's gone up in the air, and he's just gone for it over a kick. He's actually not caught the contact that he probably would want. It's come off the side of his boot and spun in at the post and gone in. But listen, you don't buy a ticket, you won't win a raffle, as they say. It's a good bit of play from him, and put them obviously on the front foot. But I was pleased with our reaction after they scored. We grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck a little bit and scored a good goal off the back of it.
I'll be honest, Donners, if you listen to it back in commentary, I actually thought it was going over. It wasn't until Brocky's gone mental next to me that I've realised it's gone in, and I've joined in. I could see you guys going mental on the bench. Talk to me about Donners' goal, because that was spectacular.
Yeah, good bit of play into the front man, and then played from the throw in, and he just picked the ball up in that space. He's been playing off the striker the last 3 or 4 games and scored some good goals playing in there. And he's proved what a good player he is when he gets the ball in around the edge of the box. And left foot or right foot, as he's shown today, on his left foot, he's just curled one into the top corner.
I am loath to talk about referees, and here I am again talking about referees. I'm getting bored of it now, as I'm sure you are with my next question. We saw you going to speak to the referee at half time. What was said? What was the conversation about, if I can ask?
Well, yeah, no, just for me, the tackle Mike Carter done on Warren Cummins was a red card, 100%. If you see that on any televised game, it's a red card. Just because they can look back at it and things can be done about it. He's won the ball, Mike Carter, but he's followed through with the same foot, and Warren Cummins got 4 holes in his thigh. Literally, he's got holes in his thigh. That's the second time he's done that to us. He's done it to Harry Medway when we played here a couple of seasons ago. So, listen, it's up to the referee at the end of the day, but I think that's a red card. And ironically, Brian Stock ends up getting sent off a couple of minutes to go, and he didn't even see the player. So, I think at the moment, things go against you when you're down near the bottom and when you're up near the top, as we experienced last year a couple of times. We haven't played well and we've won games. We played okay today without being great, but work rate for me is the most important factor.
Lee, why was Mike Carter still on the pitch? It could have been a challenge, as I say, 4 minutes in, and he's done it 2 or 3 times, and that's not me trying to be biased, because there were a few chances from Hawks that were a yellow card, but I felt myself that Carter was very lucky to still be on the pitch. Yeah. What was your view on it?
And secretly in their camp they'd be saying, we got away with one there.
Alex didn't admit it though.
And that's the way it is. It's the player he is. This is a good player. He's a good player. He's come up and made the step up well. But I think he just needs to be a bit calmer in some of his tackling decisions. And that was shown today.
Don't know if I've asked this question before, but what do you feel has got to change for the Hawks to get being on the right end of results, as being opposed to being unlucky losers, so to speak, as they were today? What do you feel has got to change?
Our mindset's got to be better from first minute to last at times, but today I thought the wind did play its part. I think first half they were more dominant than us. Second half, when we had the wind, we were a lot more dominant than them. There's an element of luck to it as well. We've lost today because we've scored our own goal, and as I said, when you're down the bottom, that does go against you sometimes. You very rarely get the slice of luck when you're in the wrong end of the table.
It was a good cross, obviously, that set Rory Williams away, but Monnews unfortunately scored for Gosport. That was so unlucky, wasn't it? And someone said, did he have a bad game? No, he didn't. He's just been very unfortunate.
Right. Moles is a great lad, a good leader, and he gives the football club everything he's got. Absolutely 100% every time he puts a shirt on, and that's the most important thing for me. We've got good quality in the dressing room. We need to make sure that we give 100% every time they put the shirt on, and they're proud to wear the shirt. That's important.
How big a blow was losing Nick Ciardini quite late on? That's obviously caused you to have Charlie Searle on the bench today. No disrespect to Charlie men.
Yeah, no, it's a big blow for us because last couple of games with Nick in the team, we've performed well as a team, and we've won. Obviously had to take him out last minute, and he wanted to play, he's desperate to play, but you could still feel his abductor, and it was a decision I had to take out of his hands, because I need him fit for as long as I can. I want him fit for going on next week for the rest of the season, not play one game to miss 6 weeks. And it's a decision that's hard to make, obviously, being a local derby.
Let's move on. We'll end the interview in a moment, but I need to ask you about our next game, Bath. One of my low points this season, I'm sure yours, that hammering at Bath. We need to get a response straight away, don't we?
Yeah, we hopefully lick our wounds straight away and get back. That's the only good thing. If you lose a game, you've got a game 2 days later, we're straight back into it. We've got a chance to put the result right, and we've got a point to prove to them, because obviously we played them when they've won 5 on the bounce, so they were very confident. At this moment in time, I don't think they are. I think they've lost 3-0 today. It's a big game for us. We've got 2 home games now where our home form's been good, and we've got to go and try and win both of them.
Well, the commiserations on the loss today wasn't through lack of effort, so thank you very much.
Very much.
And congratulations. Well done. Thank you.